You're a Giants fan. Everyone should know that based on the hat that you're wearing right now. You brought me into football over the years. And one thing that I noticed right away is that when it comes to winning overall in football, and I'm talking about winning Super Bowls, right? You don't really need a great running back. Would you agree on that?
I would agree with that. Yes, in recent times, for sure, the great teams that have won Super Bowls don't have a great running back.
Yeah, so now there's drama going on with Saquon Barkley and the Giants because the Giants just signed Daniel Jones, their quarterback, to a pretty big deal. And obviously now Saquon wants some of that love too. He deserves it. He's one of the best running backs in the league. New York Post, and basically it says the Giants' final 3-year offer was in the ballpark of 11 million to 11.5 million per year, and a guarantee of 22 to 23 million. But obviously Barkley was asking for more. He turned down contract for $13 million per year with a 19.5 million guarantee. So obviously they offered him a good, I would say that's life-changing money for us at least, right? For his services, but he turned it down, and they just recently didn't agree on the franchise tag or whatever it is. So the point is, the reason why I want to talk about this though is that, do the Giants need Saquon Barkley? He's a great running back, but all I know is that last year the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and we can go take a look at who their running back was that helped them win the Super Bowl, and that was Isaiah Pacheco. Got that right. So obviously they have Patrick Mahomes. That's he's probably the greatest quarterback right now, right, in football. But they had Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon. I actually know who Jerick McKinnon is. Actually, he was good back in the day. Well, he was never that good, but he had a lot of upside. But anyway, Isaiah, he's not a name that you kind of know. He's not like these guys. He's not like Saquon. Who else? Joe Mixon. These high level running backs. And then what I wanted to do was I wanted to look at the prior Super Bowl winners to see what was going on there. So you can see this is a list of all Super Bowls, whatever. And you can see last year, Kansas City, they had Isaiah Pacheco. But then the year before that, the Los Angeles Rams won the Super Bowl. And I really can't remember their running back. I know they had Matthew Stafford at quarterback, so that shows you the quarterback is important. Running back, I don't know, Tampa Bay. This is when Tom Brady won. And I believe their running back there was Leonard Fournette. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette was a part of that team. Yep.
Yeah, it was probably by committee or in Kansas City again. I'm not sure. This could have been Kareem Hunt. New England, when they won the Super Bowl here, New England's always by committee. There's sometimes a 3-man backfield for the running backs there. But my point is, again, when it comes to running back, is it like a glorified position, or is it something that you don't necessarily need to spend your money there? Instead, in football, you need to spend your money with the offensive line and, the quarterback, obviously, maybe some weapons like wide receivers, cornerbacks. Again, is this like a trend to where I know that's why the running backs are kind of angry and pissed because they want to be able to get paid, but then it sucks because teams are noticing that maybe this position isn't a position that you need to spend a lot of money on because of the wear and tear on the body, and along with they could just, like you said, you told me earlier, we'll talk about it, the Giants drafted a younger person, right? So can they just bring someone else in?
Yeah, no, those are all really good points. I mean, the Rams running back too that you were referring to, I looked up real quick, is Cam Akers and Malcolm Brown. Those were the main two guys on the Rams Super Bowl team. But again, it proves what you said, right? They don't really need A-plus elite running backs to win Super Bowl titles. And if it's all about winning Super Bowls, do you really need some kind of an upper echelon running back to make it happen? I think for the Giants in particular, as a Giants fan myself, I do see how important Saquon is to the Giants in the sense of the Daniel Jones being the quarterback, still somewhat developing and not being the elite sort of quarterback or talented quarterback. So that some of these guys, right, when you look at that list, you have Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the game. Matthew Stafford has shown that he is and can be at times an upper echelon quarterback. Even though he's a little older, he has one of the most talented arms we've seen in a long time, right? Mm-hmm. So that makes up for having a probably weaker running back. You have Tom Brady. We don't have to say much about that. The GOAT, right? In terms of the quarterback position. So I think there's this sort of like balancing of, if you have an excellent quarterback that can really make those players around you that much better, right? Average players to slightly above average players, even better. That helps the fact that you may not need to have a really strong quarterback. But when you have someone like Daniel Jones, who's a notch below all those guys, probably tier B or C quarterback, right now in his development. I know he had a big year last year, but do you need a stronger running back? And I think the argument could be made that you do need a stronger running back in that sense. Saquon was injured 2 years ago. He came back last year, had a really monster year. And Daniel Jones actually had his best year as a Giant. He also had a new coach. So there's a lot of variables involved. This year, if Saquon decides to hold out and doesn't want to play, we're going to really find out how much Daniel Jones needs or doesn't need Saquon Barkley. But I do think that the Giants, it would be nice to see Saquon in a uniform as a Giants fan, because they drafted him as a first-round pick, second overall, I think it was, over Sam Darnold. Remember Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
They actually drafted Saquon over Sam Darnold, and I was like, man, like, did the Giants do the right thing? And it turns out like they picked the right pick with Saquon. But I think it's a matter of the fact that it's a passing league now, and because of that, quarterbacks are the cream of the crop, and even wide receivers, if they can be elite and deserve the money, you're going to start to see a lot more money flowing their way as opposed to the running backs, because, like you said, wear and tear, and the fact that this is just more of a passing league. So nothing against Saquon, but you wonder, like, should he have taken that offer? Because he probably wanted to hold out for more money. But the downside to doing that and the risk is that it seems like as the years go by and more Super Bowls get won by teams that don't have elite running backs, the value of it is going down and down and down. So it could be a big mistake that he didn't accept that offer, holding out because of the fact that he thought he should just command more in the open market in the future.
The way that the game may be changing, and it's not favoring the running back overall.
We're going to find out. Saquon has a decision to make, whether he wants to report or not report, and be a holdout. It's going to be an interesting storyline heading into the Giants. I know they drafted a running back called Eric Gray as a rookie, and they have Matt Breida, who I don't know how much he has left in the tank. He's 31, but it's going to be some interesting drama, and see if Daniel Jones could carry the load with Saquon potentially not being there.